Hello and welcome to another episode of International Students, the first episode of this new year. My name is Nicola Nardo, and today we have in our studio a guest and a friend, Christian, a student from Italy. Hello Christian, and welcome in our studio.
Thank you very much for inviting me here.
You're welcome. Christian, could you please tell us who you are, why are you here, where do you study, and do a small introduction about yourself.
Okay, so as you said, my name is Christian. I'm Italian and I come from the north of Italy. I'm in a city that is called Como, that is famous for its lake. And at the moment, I've been living for 5 years in another city close to Rome that is called Perugia. Mm-hmm. And as I said, I've been living there for 5 years. I'm studying there. And right now, at this moment, I'm studying I'm attending a course that is called is a master degree that is called Sociology and Social Policy. And now I'm here, in Târgu Mureș for my Erasmus, and that's it.
Cool. Why are you here in Trgu Mure? You said for your Erasmus, yes, but what kind of Erasmus and what are you doing more exactly?
Okay, exactly here I am an Erasmus student for mobility, and the precise mobility is the traineeship program. Mm-hmm. To make, I'm here to make my internship, and exactly I am in the International Relations Office of the UMFST, the university here in Târgu Mureș.
I see. So you say that you come from Como, in the north of Italy, really close to Switzerland.
Yeah, very close. Yeah.
Yes. And you are studying actually in Perugia. Perugia, as far as I know, it's in Umbria, the so-called the heart of Italy. It's a beautiful region full of forest and nature, etc. Perugia is famous also for chocolate, if I'm not wrong. Is it?
Exactly.
Perugina, yeah. But the first time that I met you, I was a bit surprised about the fact that a student from Como went to Perugia in a smaller city. I mean, Como is small, of course, but we have next to you Milan, that is an important university center as well. But you decided to start your career in Perugia. Why did you choose this way?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Many people, especially in Perugia, they ask me that kind of question. And the thing is, first of all, I can say that most of people, of course, from Italy, from Como, they go to study to Milan, of course. Mm-hmm. But most of them, they don't go because it's far, 40 kilometers from my city. And most of them, they just do they go in the day and they return in the same day. So, they are not steady in that place. And for me, I discovered I wanted I decided to study when I was 22 and I was in Ireland. And the person, almost in my last month when I was in Ireland, suggested me to go to Perugia. And so I said, okay, I've never heard about that is very important, as an important city as universitarian city. But I checked a bit. I also wanted to go to Spain at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I said, no, I want to go first of all to Spain. I want to graduate there because my desire after Ireland was I want to stay abroad. I want to live abroad. But then actually, I understood that the best thing was I can say that was another suggestion that somebody told me, but Christian, you can make an Erasmus. A lot of Erasmus here in Italy. Why? So you subscribe here in Italy, it's easier for you, and maybe you go to Spain. So after that, I said, okay, Perugia is cheap. Perugia is a beautiful city. Perugia, because before subscribing university, I visited the city, and also as I told already, it was a cheap for the rents. Mm-hmm. And I also checked other cities, and they were very expensive, and maybe some. It was like that,
Maybe Perugia, since it's a small city, relatively small city, for a student actually it's not that bad. Of course, a smaller city like a student can easily reach different part of the city, different university parts, like some campus usually are spread around the city. Instead, in some big cities, sometimes in some metropolis, can be more difficult, like to go in my field, the field of medicine, from an hospital to another hospital, to attend the different courses. So what I'm saying, it's maybe, I think, one of the advance of as a relatively small, however, medium-sized city in comparison to a big one is the fact that it's more easy to, it's easier to reach different places. The mobility is easier in comparison with much bigger cities. Do you agree with that?
Actually, I didn't understand perfectly what you tried to say. Like, can you say?
Of course. I'm saying that in a small city has the advance in comparison with a bigger city, like a big city. The fact that for a student, the fact that he can easily and faster reach different places of that city in comparison.
In the same city.
Yeah, in the same city.
Okay,
in comparison to a big one, sometimes you have to take the metro. The metro is fast, but then maybe it's a long path and so on.
Exactly. This, I think, is the best. Like, actually, I can also add this from the point that I wanted to say earlier. Is like I don't regret, of course, of being like in Perugia for 5 years, because it's like is a very is a city like very so suitable for the people, for the students, because it's quite little, but at the same time it has everything. And it's perfect because you can meet a lot of people, you can really build a lot of bonds, a lot of friendships with people, and that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And my purpose since the beginning, since I moved for my first experience abroad, was to live in medium sized cities. Okay. So when I said, okay, Perugia, it has like 200,000 inhabitants, and it used to have like 40,000 students. Yes. 40,000 students, but like in the years before the problem that we had, like with
we know.
Okay, for Erasmus. And after like 2007, after that, it became like a bit bad as the situation, because as I know, they got like 18,000 students, so like less than half. But now we are like almost 30,000, so the city is getting bigger. Every year is getting better, and this is very appreciable, and it's fantastic.
Okay, so now I would like to ask you, how is your first? You are here since 1 month, if I'm not wrong. Is it? How is it so far? This experience. In fact, the title of this first episode is exactly Trgu Mureș, the experience of a month. Can you tell us something about this experience here in Romania? First of all, I would like to ask you, why did you choose Târgu Mureș? I suppose you may had also other destinations. Why did you choose Târgu Mureș? And so far in this month, how was it?
Okay,
you can.
I can go in order. Up until now, I can say that Târgu Mureș. Târgu Mureș. I would like to talk as concerned Transylvania, the region. I think the most important thing is Transylvania, because here in Târgu Mureș, but also I found I didn't travel a lot in Transylvania, but I saw, what I saw is that the people here are very nice. The people are very polite, they are not stressed, and the life here is not stressful at all.
In comparison to the Italian one, maybe.
In comparison to the Italian lifestyle as concerned, other cities, maybe like Milan or like Rome.
Yeah, definitely.
That's, I don't know, in my opinion, it's too much trafficated, too much I don't know how to find the word, it's more, I can say crazy, Crazy life. And in Târgu Mureș, so I found that. I already went to Bucharest. All the people from here, they used to say to me I go to Bucharest twice. I went to Bucharest twice, and they told me before going there. Also, some friends that I have in Bucharest, they told me, here we are very arrogant, very bad people. But even there, I found the people were quite nice. But of course, I didn't find it true. I didn't find the same how can I say, hospitality that I found here. And that's really good, because it's not funny nowadays to find a place where the people help you without a problem, talk to you, they don't have any prejudgment. So that's nice. This is is I can say like is the core of my speech as concerned this question. Of course, we can talk about like little things, details that's concerned like life here. For example, one thing that I can say, the nightlife here is not so good in my opinion. There are not, for example, in Perugia we have 400 more than 400 Erasmus like incoming. More actually, we are like probably 600 as concerned also maybe the doctorate, like the Erasmus of doctorates or something that is not Erasmus plus project, maybe some other, but we have like 600 and that's different.
Don't worry that we will reach that point as well.
So,
I'm sure about, hopefully, we'll see.
And that's it. And then of course there are, now I said one of, for example, the defect of the city, but maybe, you know, I've just been here for 1 month and I came like in November, and maybe it's not the perfect month, you know. Now, for example, there's the
exams,
festivity, and the people are gonna go away. Maybe here in summer or after, you know, in spring, maybe it's gonna be better. I don't know.
Definitely in spring it's much better now. You know, we have. I mean, it has been just the vacations. People may still home, and immediately after we have the examination session, so but definitely you will see after the session will be better. However, instead you say that you had the opportunity to travel around Romania. You have been in Bucharest. Have you been also somewhere else?
Yeah, to Timișoara. I went to Timișoara and I really like that city. It's not so different from Târgu Mureș, but I have a friend there.
It's bigger, I suppose. I mean,
not so much bigger in my opinion. I don't know, it looked like, I suppose I expected that was a bigger city. I expected some skyscraper, but I didn't see them. And, you know, like, I really liked the city, but I have a friend there that told me here, anyway, the people is a bit more posh. It's more like cold. And actually, I can see that in 2-3 days that I stayed there, I found like a bit like less hospitality than here, less, you know, less will, less desire, wish to talk with the foreigner, you know.
Yes. So why did you choose Trgu Mure, by the way? You still didn't answer me to that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I decided to move to Trgu Mure. There's no special reason. I can say that. Before, of course, it's how can I explain that? In July, this July, before coming to Erasmus, I say that before coming to Erasmus, it was like almost 2 years since I haven't traveled, since I haven't made a mobility around Europe or outside Europe, and I said I wanna do an Erasmus, and in June, July, I won like I can say another mobility, like the scholarship for another mobility that was Canada, but I'm gonna make this mobility abroad in March, so you know it's very long, you know. And so in August, September, I said, okay, I want to go maybe, you know, why not make like another kind of experience, Erasmus, maybe shorter, and to go abroad. So I tried, first of all, to, you know, traineeship project. Yeah. You can find your own place to work and to
practice.
To practice, yeah, exactly, to do your practice. And I didn't have an opportunity because actually I moved, like I can say, I put all my many effort, but quite late before the expired date for, you know. And so I said, okay, let's apply, you know, for the university, how can I say that? Like for the specific project that the university already had. So there were 4 places. There was France. There was, but I didn't know Spanish. I don't know, like.
France, you mean?
Yeah.
You didn't know France?
Yeah, no, I don't know French.
Yeah, you said Spanish.
Sorry.
Don't worry, it's fine.
I don't speak French so well, and you know, they requested like a very high level because it was a very important university. So, and then Bulgari, in Bulgari said, okay, no, I don't like. They suggested me not to go, and so in the end, I decided to move to Târgu Mureș, and here it is.
In the heart of Transylvania, all right. Another question. I know that you, in your university, you have been also like you are doing interviews. You were also like the moderator of a radio program. Is it?
Well, okay. I've been in the radio that I joined like 3 years ago. Is called Radiofonica, and I make an agreement to. Sorry, I greet all of them because they are anyway a family. Is a good radio, web radio that is actually, I don't know if they already born. Were already born, but in Italy we have like a kind of nowadays we have a lot of. Spread throughout Italy, a lot of universitarian radio, web radio.
Yeah.
And actually now they also have an association like that unite all of them. And in Perugia there is Radiofonica. With Radiofonica at the beginning the first year, 3 years ago when I joined them, I used to make both either interviews with the people, maybe I can say random interviews, because there was like some events and I wanted to interview some person, or maybe I tried to organize this kind of interview like here. Or sometimes also in the first year I used to have like also a radio program that is used to call Jet Lag. I used to interview like you, more or less, used to interview like every week a different person or different people, because maybe sometimes they were just one, sometimes two people, and from different countries. And every week, and try to, of course, differentiate, of course, every week the country. So 1 week the German people, then Spanish, then people from many countries. But then after that, so 2 years ago, I left this kind of project because by making those things, more the university and more the other things, I was like blowing up because it was too much work, and so I left.
But you were telling me that you were also part of ESN. Is it like Erasmus Student Network as well? You are an active, let's say, member or whatever, participant in this organization. So I think this also was like not helping on this point of view, what you're saying, like taking time.
Of course, yeah, exactly. I thank you for reminding that. Like that's another association that I joined both. Like this actually Radiofonica is just from Perugia. ESN, Erasmus Student Network, is like an international.
Yes,
but
we have
of
also
course,
you know
exactly, yeah.
Trgu Mure.
And it's divided like in 3 levels: international, national, and sectional. So like. Of course, it's more famous, and but also it takes a lot of energy. If you wanna put your effort, if you wanna be involved in all the projects, you can make it like will be like a work, like a job, because so you're right. The radio and the DSN and the university and other things, maybe something that you want to do, other volunteering, other association that you attend, and then it becomes like.
A bit stressing on the studies, yeah, definitely.
Exactly, yeah.
And by the way, another question that I want to ask you was, I saw that during your interviews, you had the opportunity also to interview like some popular and important personalities. Could you tell who you had the opportunity to interview, like?
Nicola, I want to tell you something. You are too kind, and this is a real advertisement, to me, because actually it's very interesting. But at the same time, I don't like to say, I don't go around, especially in Italy, don't go around to say to the people, oh yeah, I interviewed maybe the president of the parliament, European Parliament.
But yeah, you did actually.
Yeah.
You
so
did.
I got some opportunity, maybe also some other important politicians or some important singers in Italy, and I really got some opportunities, and I really appreciate, and I can't forget that kind of experience, and I acknowledge and thank for this, like also Radiofonica, like the radio. Because it was also their merit, because of course you can't, an interview, you can do alone an interview, so you need...
Of course.
And I interviewed, as I told, I think the most important person was Antonio Tajani, because it was the European
president of the European
Parliament. And but I also interviewed some other politicians, Italian politicians, like Alessandro Di Battista, that if some Italians now is going to listen to us, he knows, of course. And other people, some rappers, that they are quite famous. I don't know. Do you want to know some name?
Why not?
I can. Okay, it's Inoki, that is an important rapper from Bologna. That it was a high school, old school rapper, very famous. And I interviewed also Mr. Man, another quite important rapper, and other people that.
Going back instead on the topic that of before, what differences did you find between, let's say, the Romanian culture and the Italian one, like the Romanian uses and the Italian one? For example, if you remember the first time that we met, you were asking me something that I also observed. Sometimes, like in Italy, we are used to eat outside a lot, the street food, we eat outside without limits. But here, I observe that as well, it's not that common. And you were asking me that. Did you find also other differences on this point of view, like on the uses that of the Romanian people and in comparison with the Italian one?
Well, okay, yeah, that's a nice question. Like, I still remember.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course I remember when we were walking and we were eating probably both, or I don't know, and nobody it was just 2 weeks that I was here, and nobody I didn't saw in that time, and still now, like yet now I didn't find like a person that ate the food in the streets, and so that's
or at least not. Like we do, like...
yeah, by walking.
Yeah, by walking, by going, yes.
You know, now
there's time with calm and etc. For this, going back to what we were saying before, in Italy everything is more, it's a bit more stressing maybe.
Yeah, more stressing, we have probably less time, I don't know. Oh, it's just, I don't know.
It's our way maybe to...
It's just, it's also could be a habit, because actually if they take here the habit, they could do it. I don't know, actually, I think when I eat outside, when I eat by walking, I always remember, I don't know where, I heard, like probably in a radio or in television, that it's not good to eat while you are walking or when you are like stood up. So maybe there is maybe, I don't know, in here in Romania I didn't ask, we should ask or could ask to the people, why don't you eat? Maybe because it's not so strange probably for them. Of course, sometimes when I eat on streets, the people look at me, not like so bad, but they look at me like quite a bit surprised, and they probably asked, but what is doing this guy? But
I don't know, maybe it was just something that I noted during this year, and was funny the fact that you asked me the same question. But well, did you find other differences in this
I found
cultural or
¿Cómo?
like like cultural differences or this kind of
yeah, I can say like few weeks ago with Romanian friend, actually, it was like a friend of mine. And then because I didn't trust her, she asked, like, then we arrived a lot of people beside us, and she started asking to them, like these things I'm gonna say, that here, like in Italy, we are used to kissing the girls, like when, especially like in the south, but well, we can talk about the difference, of course, like from the south and the northern part of Italy.
South and north
that you, like in the northern part, that we don't kiss the guys, just the girls.
Yeah, we do. We kiss guys
in the south,
well,
you kiss the
guys. Like on the cheeks.
Cheeks, exactly. But here, they don't kiss at all, like as I know. But it's so strange. Depends.
Yes.
I thought maybe,
In Italy, it's more common. We used to do it much more than here. I observed it's less common. Just in some occasion, you kiss the girl or vice versa on the cheeks, But between boys here in Italy, in the south of Italy, we do. In the north, as you say, no, you don't. So this is an internal Italian
different
cultural differences. Yeah.
But I can tell you now. I ask you. Actually, I wanna know. Because I was wondering that, and maybe you can say to me something as well. you know, those friends, they were saying to me like they are 22, so they are this generation, our generation, and because I used them during this period when I was meeting them, I used to kiss every time all of them, you know.
Yes.
When I was at the beginning and the end, you know, of our meeting, and every time they were like a bit. How can I say that? They were a bit.
Intention.
No, they were a bit cold, and they were a bit like surprised, and also with the posture, like they were like a bit. I can see that they felt strange because I kissed them. You know, I gave them 2 kisses, and after a while, a friend told me, Christian, but if you do that, it means here in Romania, at least in Transylvania, it means that you are flirting with the girl. You're saying that you like that girl, and I said. Okay, but then I talk maybe also with in my international relation in the international relation office, and sometimes I'm in here in this part like the UMFA with the
medical campus.
Yeah, in this part of this borough, the office.
Below, yeah. The office.
Huh?
Yes.
The borough and with them like the Luminitsa and Anka that they are like. And we can say that they're not the other generation, but they are older than us. They told me, well, for me, it's normal to kiss. It's not so. It doesn't mean that if you kiss me, give me 2 kisses. It doesn't mean that you have you want to flirt with me. You like me.
Right.
I said, okay. So, but regardless of that, many young guys, young people told me, yeah. If you kiss, it means that you are flirting with that girls. And I said, okay, I stopped because...
It's not too many girls around.
I don't know, what do you know? Like,
I'm, well, in this moment, actually, I'm not doing that so much. Maybe I lost this use that I have with the time. I think so.
But yeah. you lost or they lost?
I think that I lost this way that we have in Italy, especially in the south, to kiss on the cheeks, everybody every time, basically. Oh no, just kidding, but so frequent. Maybe here, living so many years, maybe I lost this way. For sure, I lost it with boys, because here it could be strange. In Italy, we know between friends, how are you? However, I have still another question. So 1 month passed. What expectative do you have for the next 2 months here in Trgu Mureș? What do you want to visit? What do you hope to learn more, to discover more? If you can tell us something about this.
I don't know what I can expect. I think like there is I say something sociological. There is a study that says that after 21 days, your life in another place that is not your birthplace is gonna become like a kind of routine. You know, what is made is made. Of course, you know. This is like a study. Of course, it's gonna be a mistake, but you know, I made many experiences abroad, and I can say that sometimes it corresponds. And at the moment, like after a month, like because I didn't have an expectation for coming. Really, I didn't have an expectation. You know, maybe you go to Brazil and say, I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna go to the seaside, and then you're gonna stay in a place and you feel bad. And so your expectation was good, and it becomes bad. Here, I didn't have an expectation, and now I'm okay. And I expect maybe that in the next 2 months, of course, I can meet other people, and I can travel until I go back to Italy. I want to see a lot of things.
What do you want to see?
I want to see. That's a very good question. I don't know if I could divide myself into parts, I will go wherever, and here in Romania, because they suggested me to go to Moldova, like the region, to see the monasteries, but also like, I don't know, I saw the pictures and I would like to go to Trasfagarașan. That is closed, they told me, but just one little part. So maybe I can visit, you know, regardless, I go to visit because it really attracts me. And I want to see like all of Romania, and maybe if I have the opportunity, maybe I'm gonna go back to Timișoara, and maybe from there, that because like the border is like distant like 30 kilometers, so maybe I go to Serbia a bit. Now we are gonna go to Moldavia for a little trip. So we are gonna go out. I'm gonna go out like from the nation to another place. Also, if you have the opportunity, maybe to go to Ukraine, that is very close, not so far from here.
All right.
Just to say, I touched the country with the hands. I cannot say that I didn't visit the country. No, I can say I just touched the Ukraine border, like 2 seconds. I come back and they say, okay, I've been in Ukraine.
Great. I think we don't have other time for our episode of today, and I would like to thank you to have been in our studio today and for your talk. Dear telespectators, thank you for watching us. I wish you a great 2020 and see you soon to international students. La rivedere.